Have you ever met someone who eats less but still can't lose weight? Maybe that person is you. You've tried salads, skipped desserts, counted calories, yet the scale barely moves. The truth is, we've been taught a flawed idea. That weight loss is only about calories in and calories out. But the human body isn't a calculator. It's a hormonal system. You don't get fat because you eat too much. You get fat because your hormones tell your body to store energy instead of burning it. Today, I'll show you the real reason why eating less can actually help you burn more. But only when done the right way. This isn't about starving yourself. It's about unlocking your body's natural ability to burn fat effortlessly, even while sitting still. Most people think that eating less automatically means burning more fat, but the body doesn't work that way. The moment you cut calories drastically, your body doesn't keep burning energy at the same rate. It slows everything down. Your metabolism senses danger, like a power plant running low on fuel. It starts rationing energy, conserving every calorie it can. You begin to feel tired, cold, and hungry. Your brain fogs, your hands get cold, and even your mood drops. This is not weakness. It's survival. Your body isn't broken. It's protecting you. It believes you're in a famine, and it does exactly what it's designed to do: store energy, not burn it. That's why traditional dieting feels like a battle against yourself. In the beginning, the numbers on the scale might drop, but soon they freeze. That's the body adapting. It's learned to run on less. So even if you continue eating less, fat loss slows. Then the moment you eat normally again, the body grabs hold of every calorie, afraid another famine is coming. The weight returns, sometimes with extra. People call it yo dieting, but it's really a hormonal defense mechanism. The system isn't failing. It's responding exactly as it should to deprivation. The problem is that we've been taught to see food and fat as a simple math equation: calories in, calories out. But humans aren't calorie counters, we're hormonal machines. The real driver of fat gain and loss isn't calories, it's insulin. Insulin is the hormone that tells your body what to do with the food you eat. When insulin levels are high, your body stores energy. When insulin levels drop, your body releases that stored energy for fuel. In other words, high insulin locks fat inside your fat cells. Low insulin unlocks it. Every time you eat, insulin rises. It doesn't matter if it's a meal or a snack, or even a healthy drink. That orange juice, that handful of almonds, that spoonful of yogurt, each one gives a small signal to insulin: store energy. If insulin stays elevated throughout the day, your body never gets a break to burn stored fat. So even when you're eating less food, your hormones are telling your body to save fat, not use it. The secret isn't to eat less food overall, it's to eat less often. Most people don't overeat at mealtimes, they overeat in frequency. They eat breakfast at 8, a snack at 10, lunch at noon, another snack at 3, dinner at 6, and something sweet before bed. That's 6 or 7 insulin spikes a day. No wonder the body never gets to burn its reserves. By simply reducing the number of times you eat, you allow insulin to fall naturally. When insulin drops, your body switches energy sources from glucose to stored fat. This switch doesn't require willpower. It's built into your physiology. It's how the human body evolved to handle long periods without food. When insulin is low, fat burning becomes the default mode. Energy flows smoothly from your fat cells into your bloodstream, fueling your brain and muscles. You feel steady, alert, and even more energetic, not drained. The real freedom comes when you stop chasing calories and start respecting your hormones. Skipping constant snacks and spacing your meals gives your body the signal it's been waiting for: it's safe to burn fat again. When that happens, the body stops clinging to every calorie. It starts releasing stored energy quietly, efficiently, and continuously. You don't need to move more or punish yourself at the gym. What you need is to let your body rest metabolically. The less often you interrupt that rest with food, the more your body shifts into its natural rhythm of burning fat for fuel. It's not about deprivation, it's about restoration. When you stop fighting your biology and start working with it, fat loss becomes effortless, not forced. Imagine your body as a hybrid car that can run on two different fuels, glucose and fat. Glucose is the quick burning fuel that comes from carbohydrates and sugars. It's easy to access but runs out fast, which is why you feel hungry a few hours after eating. Fat, on the other hand, is the long-lasting reserve tank. It burns slowly and steadily, giving you smooth, consistent energy. The problem is that most people never get to tap into that fat tank because they're constantly refueling with snacks and meals. Every time food enters your system, insulin rises, and as long as insulin is up, fat burning is shut off. This is where the concept of metabolic rest becomes powerful. Metabolic rest isn't about doing nothing. It's about giving your metabolism the break it needs to work properly. When insulin levels remain low long enough, your body finally receives permission to reach into its stored energy reserves. You're not starving yourself, you're simply changing fuel sources. Instead of running on sugar all day, you shift into fat burning mode. This shift feels subtle at first, but inside your body, an entire transformation is happening. Think about how often the average person eats. Breakfast, a mid-morning snack lunch, an afternoon snack dinner, and maybe something sweet at night. That's 6 hits of insulin every single day. The body never gets a break from storage mode. Now, imagine skipping just one of those eating windows, say delaying breakfast or cutting out nighttime snacking. Suddenly, your body has hours without insulin spikes. During that time, it begins to burn stored fat for fuel. The process is simple but profound. Low insulin equals fat burning. This is why intermittent fasting works so effectively. It's not about eating less, it's about eating less often. When you compress your eating window, your body enters a state of metabolic rest for the remaining hours. During this rest, insulin drops and growth hormone rises. Growth hormone is a natural repair signal that protects muscle and enhances fat burning. Your metabolism doesn't slow down during fasting. It becomes more efficient. Studies show that short-term fasting actually increases metabolic rate because the body releases adrenaline and norepinephrine, preparing you to find food, not to shut down. As insulin drops, another fascinating thing happens. Hunger begins to change. Ghrelin, the hormone that tells you it's time to eat, starts to adapt. Instead of constant hunger spikes, your appetite stabilizes. You might notice that after skipping breakfast for a few days, you stop missing it. Your hunger no longer controls you, your hormones do. People often describe a surprising sense of clarity and energy during fasting. That's because your brain loves running on ketones, the byproduct of fat burning. Ketones provide cleaner energy than glucose, leading to better focus and mood. The body was built to thrive in this state. For most of human history, we didn't have access to food around the clock. We hunted, we waited, and we feasted when food was available. During those natural fasting periods, our bodies didn't collapse. They became sharper, stronger, and more alert. The body views fasting not as deprivation, but as an opportunity for repair. During metabolic rest, cells begin a process called autophagy, where they clean out damaged components and recycle old materials. This is how fasting not only helps burn fat, but also rejuvenates the body at a cellular level. The modern eating pattern, constant grazing, endless snacking, late-night meals, has completely disrupted this natural rhythm. We are trapped in sugar mode running on the body's short-term energy system. Metabolic rest restores balance. It teaches the body to once again use its stored energy to switch back and forth between glucose and fat effortlessly. Once you learn to give your body those breaks, fat loss becomes automatic, not forced. The hunger fades, energy rises, and your metabolism works with you instead of against you. Here's the irony. Most people think eating less always means feeling hungry, weak, and deprived, but it doesn't have to be that way. The secret lies not in how much you eat, but in what you eat and when you eat it. When your meals are built around real, whole foods instead of processed ones, your body naturally regulates appetite. Foods rich in healthy fats, proteins, and fiber trigger the release of satiety hormones like leptin and peptide YY. These hormones send powerful signals to your brain that you're full and satisfied. That's why eating eggs, avocado, olive oil, fatty fish, or nuts keeps you content for hours, while sugary cereals and pastries leave you craving more within minutes. The timing of your meals matters just as much as the content. You don't need to eat from the moment you wake up. Skipping breakfast occasionally or simply delaying, it gives your body time to lower insulin and continue burning fat. A glass of water, black coffee, or green tea can easily carry you through those first few hours. These drinks keep you hydrated, blunt appetite, and support the natural fat burning rhythm of your metabolism. Once you do eat, focus on nutrient density instead of volumes. A small meal made of eggs cooked in olive oil with leafy greens will fuel you far better than a large bowl of refined carbs that spike insulin and crash your energy a few hours later. Most people are caught in a cycle of fake hunger. They eat not because their body needs food, but because of habit, emotion, or boredom. The body doesn't always need food when it signals hunger. It might need hydration or simply a reset. Learning to recognize real hunger versus habitual eating is one of the most powerful tools for fat loss. When you start spacing your meals 4 to 6 hours apart, something remarkable happens inside you. Insulin begins to drop naturally between meals, and that drop is the biological trigger that unlocks fat burning. You may notice your energy becoming steadier. That's because when insulin is low, your body switches to burning its own stored fat for energy. You're no longer trapped in the glucose roller coaster of energy spikes and crashes. The constant snacking culture keeps your metabolism trapped in sugar mode, never giving your fat stores a chance to be used. By cutting out those unnecessary snacks and letting your body rest between meals, you restore its natural flexibility. It learns to move effortlessly between using glucose from food and fat from storage. So what surprises most people is how hunger itself changes. After a few days of eating real food and spacing out meals, hunger stops feeling urgent or painful. It comes and goes like a gentle reminder rather than a demand. That's because your hormones start working with you, not against you. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone, begins to follow a predictable rhythm instead of firing constantly. You stop craving sugar and processed carbs because your body is finally running on stable energy. This is what true metabolic freedom feels like. You're not counting calories, you're not obsessing over portion sizes, and you're not fighting against your own biology. You're simply eating foods that nourish your body and giving it time to use what it already has stored. The less often you eat, the more efficiently your body burns fat. This is not starvation, it's optimization. By trusting your hunger signals and choosing real foods, you end up eating less without even trying. Fat burning becomes your body's default setting, and for the first time, losing weight feels natural instead of forced. Fat loss doesn't begin with more movement or harder workouts. It begins with lowering insulin. Exercise can help, but it's not the main driver of fat burning. The real control switch is in your hormones, and insulin is the master signal. Every time you eat, especially carbohydrates or sugary foods, insulin rises to store energy. Even so, called healthy snacks like fruit smoothies, granola, or oatmeal can keep insulin elevated throughout the day. When insulin is high, your body locks fat away, refusing to burn it. You could be eating less and moving more, yet your body clings to its energy reserves because the hormonal message is still one of storage, not release. When you reduce how often you eat, the chemistry inside you begins to shift. With longer gaps between meals, insulin finally starts to drop. As soon as that happens, the body gets the message there's no more incoming fuel and begins tapping into stored energy. Fat cells open up and start releasing fatty acids into the bloodstream to be used for energy. This is the precise moment when fat burning actually begins. It's not during the workout or the salad. It's during the hours when you're not eating, when insulin has fallen low enough for your metabolism to access its reserves. Simple daily habits make this process stronger. Avoid eating late at night when your body's natural rhythm is preparing for rest, not digestion. The hours while you sleep are your most powerful fat burning window, but that only happens if insulin is low. If you go to bed after a heavy or carb-rich meal, your insulin stays high for hours and fat burning never starts. By finishing dinner earlier or skipping evening snacks, you extend the fasting period and give your body more time to burn stored fat effortlessly. Hydration is another underrated part of the process. Fat metabolism requires water. When fat is broken down, it produces waste products that need to be flushed out. Drinking enough water supports this cleansing phase and helps maintain energy levels. Many people confuse thirst with hunger. When they feel the urge to snack, their body might just be asking for hydration. A glass of water, tea, or black coffee can calm those signals and keep the fat burning process running smoothly. Hunger itself isn't an emergency. It's a sign that your body is shifting from external to internal fuel. When insulin is high, your body demands more food because it can't access stored energy. But when insulin drops, hunger changes. It comes in gentle waves and then passes as your body switches to burning fat. This is the moment most people mistake for deprivation, when in reality it's the body healing its metabolic flexibility. If you can move through that first wave of hunger, your energy actually rises instead of falls. The human body was built to survive periods without food. In ancient times, we didn't eat 3 meals and snacks every day. We ate when food was available and burned stored energy when it wasn't. Our metabolism evolved around this rhythm. But today, constant eating keeps insulin perpetually high, blocking access to fat stores. Restoring that rhythm doesn't require extreme diets or starvation. It simply means giving your hormones time to work as they were designed. When you align your habits with your body's natural biology, fat loss becomes almost automatic. You don't have to fight cravings or count every calorie. By lowering insulin naturally through meal timing and food choices, your body begins to burn fat all day, even when you're resting. The less you interfere with this process, the more efficient it becomes. It's not about doing more. It's about doing less at the right times. Once you learn to trust your body's rhythm, your hormones take care of the rest, and fat burning becomes something that happens quietly, naturally, and consistently.